Alright, what is up, guys? So, I'm going to go over the watch list for this morning. Not a lot on the gap up scanner so far. So, we're going to go over pretty much everything I have on my watch list from the gap scanner today, because I haven't really looked at much of it yet. And then what's left on the watch list from yesterday's watch list, and take stuff off as we go. Give me just 1 second. Okay, so CPAH from yesterday's list didn't really do much, popped up a little bit and then sold off. Did kind of U-shape up around a little bit. I'm going to keep it on watch to see if it can break back above 340, 345, those levels, the high of yesterday, and then make a move higher. Got an alert set. I'm not going to be watching the chart, so when the alert goes off, I'll know it's coming up. TRIL, I don't know, it's looking weak. I don't really, it could be like doing a big U shape here on the daily. I'll set an alert here. If it gets back above that level, I'll be interested in it. ADAP, big sell-off yesterday. We'll look for like a mid-candle breakout pattern. TRXC got stuffed at the 50-day moving average yesterday. Let's see if we can figure out exactly where it is. 235. So, it's got a ways to go to get to that. I'm going to take it off my list. It does have a nice little squeeze pattern to it. With that being said, I'm going to leave it off the list, but set an alert. Let's see. Let's set it at like 250. So it's that's above the 50 moving average. So as long as if it gets above the 250 moving average and hits my alert, then I'll be interested in it. RTIX. No, I don't know. I'm taking that off. DNLI. It made a nice little move yesterday, but after selling off pretty hard. But as of now, not interesting. SLGG. Stuffed at the 200 moving average. Nothing really interesting there. Taking it off. CETX. Alright, now this is the leading gapper for this morning. Don't really know the news on it. Let's see. Received 700,000. Okay, well, they're receiving money. That's always good. Surveillance systems. Okay, cool. So they're receiving a large sum of money. It's always a decent news. Ooh, I got lines drawn already on my daily, so that means I've looked at it before. I guess back here. I just extended the lines to the right. Let's clear all drawing set. Start fresh. Fresh start. So 132 is the 50 moving average. 192 is the 200. We're already above that. Way above it, so. Alright, CETX is going to be the #1 watch. My only fear is it's up too much and is going to sell off at the open. But we will definitely be keeping that one on watch at the open. I'm going to put it on my charts on my other screen because that's usually where I'm watching at the open. CETX. Lost the ticker there for a second. FLNT, nice after hours yesterday. Not much in pre-market. The daily's kind of ugly. It's just on the up gap scanner because it gapped up in after hours yesterday after the close. Don't really know if that was Must have had some news or something right after the close. Okay, well, anyways, I don't really like the chart. Let's see what the float is. 61 million. Whew. Pretty high float. It is the second leading gapper right now, up 35%. Oh, we'll leave it on there. AESE, it's not looking good. Yesterday traded 100,000 shares, so that's small. Wow, seems like average is about 50,000 shares a day. So far today, it's only traded 8,000. I don't know. Let's see. 4 million float. I'll take it off the list. If it hits the Momo scanner, we'll look it up. At least we'll be familiar with the ticker, but I don't think it's going to do anything. RMTI. Got a nice little squeeze going on between the 13 and 50. It's gapping up. It's going to have trouble at 318, so it's still under the 200 moving average. Not really too interesting. Taking it off. NVCN. Wow. Nice little gap up, and then sold pretty much all of it back. Gave it all back. Let's see what the... Alright. December 31st. Gaps up massive. Pops up a little bit, and then gives it all back. So it has a history of giving back. It's not gapping up quite as high this time, so... Oh wow, it's already back under... I don't know. I'll leave it on the list just to see if it does anything, but it would have to get back above the 200 moving average. And then... I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. NDRA. Not much. I think it just came out with news at like 9. Yeah, this one came out with news at 9. It's a pretty ugly chart. Nothing going on there. So I have a pretty boring list so far. I'll have to switch over to let Dek, talk about the news. I don't deal with the news streamers because I don't get up early enough. That's why I pay him. He goes through all the news and stuff. He knows good press releases and all that stuff. He's been doing it for a long time. I'm not, that knowledgeable when it comes to press releases, what's good, what's bad, all that stuff. He does all that homework for me, so I don't have to. But CETX so far is the one I'm going to be watching. I'm going to turn off the music and my mic and switch over to Dek's commentary. So good luck, everybody. Let's have a good solid day of trading.
Number 2 top gainer, 38% gain on 38% gain right here on FLNT. The stock did spike last night, but has been falling. We'll check it out real quick. I mean, a 61 million in float stock, I'm probably not going to be playing, but we could still always check it out. Nothing to hurt here. And what do we have here? January 14th last night says it announces financial metrics for 2019. Basically, just going over its results for 2019 and the fourth quarter. It's an earnings report, right? Just an earnings report. So FLNT, you can check that out if you guys are interested on it. But today has so far this morning we have seen a lot of the morning been going from big time spike to big time drop, and that's just because I haven't seen a lot of press releases that have been really solid. Honestly, there's one or two press releases I really like, and CETX is one of them. So CETX is definitely one of them. What other press releases came out today that I don't really think much of, but still people ran into them? Number one was NVCN. NVCN, if you guys were here this morning, NVCN spiked from $3 all the way up to $4.30, and now it's all the way back down to $3.43. What happened with NVCN this morning? NVCN had a beautiful rip, beautiful climb, and because this is a 2 million in float stock, and it came out with a press release at 7 a.m. 2 million in float, lower the float, the bigger the spike. Anything under 5 million can go on a nice big rip and run. January 15th, 7 a.m. this morning. It says NVCN receives, which is a good word, acceptance review notification for pre-market approval application. So you see the word receives, you see the word approval, and you start saying to yourself, wow, this is great, right? These are good keywords. But we do have to use some common sense here to kind of understand what this is talking about. We're receiving an acceptance review notification on its application. So we're receiving we're receiving a note that's saying, hey, we will review your application. They're saying we're accepting your application to review it. So is that worth, is that worth $1.40 spike for basically the FDA to just say, hey, we'll look over it. We don't have any sort of positivity yet. We don't have any sort of big time, news towards this yet. They're saying we're accepting your review, right? We're going to look over your review. We're going to see what we have on the approval of FDA on its reducer. So NVCN is really just getting accepted for a review. So that's why it spiked on up and came all the way back on down. And that's why I wasn't a huge fan of it. Because yes, I love low float stocks, but I want to find low float stocks that have a little bit more juice behind it, have a little bit more credibility behind it, right? You got to make sure everything on the inside is good. You guys ever see like sometimes those people like want a supercar but can't afford a super pension at the start of the day once again. So that's only really two stocks right here. What else am I looking at? What else am I focused on at the day? I'm also going to be looking at EDNT. EDNT, this stock has a very nice daily chart. Notice we have that nice squeeze between the 13 EMA and the 200-day moving average. The stock is building higher lows. The stock has a nice squeeze pattern. It's also a 2 million in float stock. You can see again, we're always looking for some sort of nice squeeze. Doesn't have to be the 50-day and 13 EMA. In this case, it's 13 EMA and the 200-day moving average. Regardless, it's building higher lows, squeezing, and we have all this room to run. It's a low float play that has a nice chart pattern towards it, and it did have news towards it. So EDNT January 15th this morning came out with a strategic alliance from Partner Idea Pros. So it came out with a strategic alliance with Venture Partner Idea Pros. Which, what would be like an alliance? What would that mean? Partnership, right? An alliance is when you work with someone else. So an alliance right here is basically a partnership. And as we know, keywords look for in hot press releases. Partnership is one of those good keywords. So we have a low float stock with a very nice chart setup, building higher lows and looking for a break of 265. Break of 265, the stock could take on off. What's the reason to buy? It does have a press release. So I like EDNT as I think that stock could definitely get some nice momentum, and I think that stock could possibly get some hype. It would come down to break of 265, could get some hype at around 320. That's where there's going to be some resistance, as that is the old spiking high back on September 6th. Back on September 6th. Do I like EDNT? I do. I think this could be a sleeper pick today. Keep it on watch. That stock has some potential towards it. What else has potential towards it today? What else could bring in that big time volume? CPAH, right? CPAH. What are you guys looking for on CPAH today? You guys are looking for that mid candle breakout pattern, right? You guys are waiting for that mid candle breakout pattern. A lot of you guys have been focused on the mid candle breakout pattern, waiting for that play to happen and waiting for you guys to be able to make some nice big money on that. Examples of mid candle breakout patterns. Oops, don't want to make it that big. Be like right here, right? Nice big spike. Stock falls down to halfway of the spike and then starts moving its way back on up. We also have a little bit of that long upper shadow. So again, that stock could definitely go on that nice move. Here's another example of a mid candle breakout pattern. BSPM, again, another example of a mid candle breakout pattern. So a lot of these patterns right here, they are going to be very consistent, and we could definitely see a lot of big time moves and a lot of big time breaks from these chart setups. I want to make sure you guys notice that. Just because it has 2 red days doesn't mean anything. Look at HMNY. HMNY had 3 red days before getting that nice big spike on up. So as long as it stays on the upper half of this spike right here, I would say you want it to get above $3. CPAH could get again that mid candle breakout pattern. Mid-candle breakout pattern, and definitely get that momentum towards it. So I want you guys to be watching CPAH. Those are honestly the top 4 stocks I want you guys to focus on. CPAH, you're most likely going to look for some sort of entry at the break of $3. That would kind of be the early bird entry for volume to see if that's going to be able to get that hype and get that rip. So we have the $3 break, and then we also have 316, which is yesterday's high. So yesterday's high is going to be a little bit of a resistance line, and if we could break through that, that's when a lot of volume would start moving on through for that mid-candle breakout pattern. So it comes down to $3, then 316, which it wants to break. All right, so let's go over our game plans for every single stock. Number 1, CETX. CETX is going to have support down towards around 192 200-day moving average. Resistance is back up towards around 260, and then our ultimate target is all the way up towards around 330. Yes, there also will be, of course, natural resistance lines as we go, like 225, pre-market high around this 240-ish mark. That's going to be holding up as a little bit of resistance. So again, kind of like where it just got rejected, I'll make that like a lighter pink area so you guys can see that is a little bit of resistance as well. Anything in blue is support, anything in a redder shade is resistance, and anything in green is the profit area that you want to make your money at. So CETX, there's our game plan right there. All right, that has news towards it. Very good play, low float. CLVS. CLVS, this is going to have $10 as its main support line. So $10 is its main support line. That's where the stock can really hold on up. If you want to, you can also look at where it spiked at this morning. Where it spiked at this morning, it's currently where it's trying to hold on up at this time, and that is going to be what? I'm going to make this in a little bit of a lighter blue right here. A little bit of a lighter blue. That's at 1060. Okay, so you can see 1060 is this old high, the spike high, and then now it's bouncing right around 1060. We have some light resistance around $11, right? We do have some light resistance right here, right around this $11 mark. And then our strong resistance is right up here towards 1150, right? Which is going to be the pre-market high and where the stock is going to try to break through. So we have again light support at 1050. You could look for a bounce play. You have strong support down towards $10. You have light resistance at $11 and strong resistance at 1150. So these are all things that I want you guys to get to. These are things, excuse me, I want you guys to see looking at this type of play, saying, okay, I can either look for a bounce play at 1050 or look for a break of 1150. Right? You guys, of course, have to know how to have a game plan, of course. And if you guys are trading real money and don't know how to set up a game plan, you may want to go to paper trading for a little bit to make sure that you're all set. After that, so we've gone over CETX, we've gone over CLVS. What else do we have? We also have EDNT, right? EDNT. We know right at 265, this is the 200-day moving average. This is going to just be a weird area to try to hold up right at the start. If we start seeing EDNT start creeping its way on up, we know right around the stock has room to run up towards around that 325 mark, and if it breaks like $3, it could start getting some hype. It could start getting some momentum towards it. This is kind of a play. It's like you wouldn't really want to dip buy this down towards around 250 because we don't know if volume's going to move in on it. But if volume does start moving in on it, it could pick up very, very quickly, especially with that news, especially with that squeeze. I think EDNT could start getting some hype towards it and start getting some momentum. So make sure you guys are keeping EDNT on watch today because that is a low float stock with news and a squeeze pattern behind it. So make sure you guys watch that. After that, we have CPAH. CPAH is on the mid-candle breakout pattern. Resistance is at $3. And then again, we also have 316, which is yesterday's high. If we can break $3, you may want to look for a small entry, or 316, you can look for a small entry. I wouldn't really look for a possible dip buy because we want the stock moving upwards now. We don't want the stock coming back on down at all. All right, so let's see what you guys are thinking. Let's go with what. I'm curious here. I don't want to say anything, but sometimes we have a blowout of which stock is going to be the best. I think it's going to be kind of even right now. So what stock do you think will do the best today? And then, sometimes I have an easy idea where I'm like, all right, everyone's going to vote on this play. I'm not sure today. Is everyone going to vote on CPAH for the mid-candle breakout pattern? Is everyone going to vote for EDNT on the low float stock with news, looking for the squeeze pattern? Is everyone going to vote on CLVS, a clear-cut top gainer right now, looking for that $11 break? Or is everyone going to vote on the #1 top gainer, CETX, 74% gap up, looking for this stock to U-shape and take on off, right? So what stock do you think will do the best today? Everyone, go ahead and vote, right? Let's see what you guys are thinking, right? I think it's going to be a pretty even poll right now, unless everyone is just like, hey, I think it's going to be this play, and everyone's on top of the same stock. We'll see. But it's always good to do this, on a little bit of a small scale to see where traders are focused on and see where traders are looking at, and of course, go from there. And this is, yep, turn your EXE today. Just want to type out morning watch list. We're going to be having all of these plays at this moment, so I just want to type them all out. All right, I'll give you guys about 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds to go cast your vote. And let's see those results, team, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's see where we're at. Share the results. Stop the poll. CETX is the winner with 56% of chat votes. CPAH is in second. We have CLVS in third, and no one's liking EDNT. Oh man, I thought EDNT would get a little bit more love. Thought EDNT would get a little bit more love there, right? So not there yet then. Market opens up in about 1 minute, but we'll see where this volume's going to be heading. We'll see where this hype's going to be going, and of course, we will go from there. All these plays definitely have some nice potential. We'll see which one's going to catch the volume and catch the hype and catch the mob. You guys are usually spot on with the best play of the day, and right now you guys are thinking CETX is going to be the winner. Maybe, again, small bounce play off that 190 mark for this stock to start moving its way on up. Market opens up in 30 seconds. So market opens up in 30 seconds here, team. Let's have a great day ahead. Let's make some money. Let's see where that action's going to be going. And again, what we want to do is watch that high of the day momentum scanner. That's this scanner right here. That's going to show us which stocks are moving on up, looking for a 20 count. We also have our breakout scanner over here. So again, two very important scanners that I'm always looking at and I'm always watching for. Now, all four of those plays, CETX, CPAH, and EDNT, keep them on high alert. The market is now live. We are now open, and let's see what's going to be coming on up. Right now, CETX is testing that 192 mark and that $2 area. These are areas to possibly get filled if you believe the 200-day moving average at 192 is going to hold up, and you're going to see a little bit break of $2. So right now on CETX, if interested, I am not in, but this would be your dip buy area for the possible $2 break and for the stock to try to push its way back up towards around that 230-ish mark. So CETX definitely has some good volume towards it. Right now, CPAH is trying to hold on up, above that $3 mark to see if that's going to get any sort of hype or get any sort of momentum. A couple new highs on EDNT, so that's trying to move on up. But right now, CETX trying to move its way on up towards around 1019 or 219. So again, CETX, nice little pop on up so far. Good job if you guys are in on that play. That is the #1 stock that you guys voted on. So let's see how much more that has in the tank. Maybe all the way up towards around 225 if that thing could start creeping its way on up. So far, CETX, best play so far, 2 million in float, #1 top gainer, came down towards that 200-day moving average and a nice pop up towards around that 217 mark. CPAH also trying to creep its way. So CPAH also trying to creep its way on up. So CPAH trying to get a little bit of volume. You can see that stock on its first little start of the mid-candle breakout pattern. First little start of the mid-candle breakout pattern. CETX is the first stock to hit a 20 count. And again, CETX, nice little move, nice little rip. I am keeping my eyes peeled over on EDNT, but EDNT just fell. So EDNT, this is going to have to U-shape all the way up and around if it wants to get anything going over there. CPAH starting to warm up, guys. CPAH starting to bring in some action, starting to bring in a little bit of hype, starting to bring in a little bit of activity over here. We want to keep our eyes peeled on this stock, as we could definitely see a possible mid-candle breakout run. Right, so CPAH 325 resistance. You could definitely look small on this play, and I know some of you guys are already holding this stock, over on CEPH, and CETX also hit 225. Notice again the stocks that we have been alerting, the stocks that we have been calling out, the stocks that we went over this morning. It's only 2 minutes in the market, but every single one of these have been top gainers. How perfect is that? That is why we go ahead and research. That is why we come up with game plans. That is why we do everything we do, because it's great to know, hey, you know what? Where's the volume going to go after? And this is why we wake up early, so that when the market opens on up, we know what plays are already going to be able to make us money if we pull the trigger. So great job, great work so far. We have CETX trying to hold $2, CPAH trying to hold that 320-ish mark. We want to see what's going to be coming on up. Where is that action going to be holding? We do have that possibility of CETX to rebounce off that 192 mark as a bounce play. Also, still keeping my eyes peeled over on EDNT to see if that's going to get any sort of action, as that one's coming on up a little bit. And I do like EDNT. I do think there's some big possibilities over there in case that stock ever starts spiking. So I am keeping my eyes on this one, just because I like the squeeze pattern in the low float. Also, it hasn't got much volume yet towards it, so if volume ever moved into it, I think there would be a lot of big time momentum. So I am keeping a close eye over there on EDNT to see if that one could ever get a little bit more action. But right now, CETX is trying to hold up right around $2. CPAH started off with some good volume, getting a little bit lighter right now, and also AESE trying to get a little bit of hype. So EDNT right now actually starting to pop on up just slightly over on EDNT. I'm not in on EDNT at this moment, but the stock is starting to creep its way on up just slightly, so I do want to keep my eyes peeled on it in case that stock started breaking like 275 or anything along those lines. I may look for some smaller entries. AESE also starting to move its way on up. So a couple plays right now, all trying to creep their way on up. AESE, got EDNT, CETX still holding $2, and CPAH looking for the 325 break. So a couple different stocks right now, and they're all kind of right at their consolidation area. Like CETX has a ton of volume. CETX has a ton of volume, but it's kind of just sitting right at the same area, right? So that's kind of sitting at the same area. CPAH lost a little volume, but still sitting right at its highs. EDNT right here, this stock doesn't have that much volume, but I do think this thing could get explosive. CPAH testing that 325 mark. And it's kind of the magic trick. Which one's gonna blow? Which one's gonna blow? Is it gonna be CPAH? Is it going to be EDNT? Is it going to be CETX? It just kind of comes down to which one is going to be able to blow out and really kind of steal all the mob towards it. CPH is still trying. What you can do, I mean, if you have a big account, you can buy a little bit of everything. Buy a little bit of CETX, buy a little bit of CPAH, buy a little bit of EDNT. Whichever one breaks on out, sell the other two and hold tight for that one. Right? That's always a possibility, something that you can look at. Right now, CPAH new high of the day. CPAH new high of the day. That one's on that little bit of a bull flag pattern. Anyone who got in around that 330 mark, could be making some nice money on that play. Right now, CPAH starting to get a little bit more hype towards this stock. Let's see if it's going to be able to start, really ripping here over on CPAH. All eyes, CPAH. All eyes right now. I'm putting CPAH up on the top. CPAH, we broke through $3 up towards around 347, 350. Next resistance line. CPAH starting to steal a little bit of volume. This is on a mid-candle breakout pattern. 350 is a natural resistance line. 350 natural resistance line. Good job for everyone who's been on this play. What I love so far, what stocks are going to do the best today? 56% of the chat room has voted on CETX. You're right? CPAH, 25% of the chat room voted on. So you guys have been on top of your game. Absolutely. CETX is starting to fall a little bit after going on that morning spike. CPAH is currently trying at this moment to break through that 350-ish mark. 350 is holding up as some tough resistance. We have definitely 320-ish support. right? We definitely have this like 325 mark as their support line, but 350 is definitely holding up as some resistance. CPH, strong pullback right there. All right, so right now, look at that. 350 right on that dot. 350, boom, and then comes right back down towards around 325. CETX just consolidating. CETX is just like a little cobra, just consolidating, sitting back with its neck up, ready to strike as this thing wants to go. EDNT was close. EDNT was close, but no cigar there yet. No cigar there yet. EDNT is trying to get above 265. 265, guys, if you guys notice right here, is the 200-day moving average. That's why that stock keeps having trouble right around that 265-ish mark. And also, how's CLVS? CLVS may try to make a red to green move coming on up. CLVS, watch for a possible red to green move. CPAH. CPAH, guys. Still trying. Watch the bids. Bids have to break 350. They're at 355 right now, so that's good. Bids need to hold 350. As long as bids hold 350, this thing's going to keep moving. 360 right now. Good job, team. So right now, again, as long as bids hold 350, you're good to go. And again, this is right off the Dekmartrades mid-candle breakout pattern, something I absolutely love. All right, so CPAH has broken through $3 all the way up to 360. This is a play I know I've been calling. I know Rapid's been calling, since yesterday off that mid-candle breakout pattern. So CPAH, perfect mid-candle breakout pattern right here, as this stock is, just following the complete textbook about why the stock is moving on up. So again, great job, great work. The stock is definitely, again, still trying to get a little bit of that push. Still trying to get a little bit of that momentum. I would put my stop loss if I were you. Stop loss if I were you would be below 350. So if you're in at 340, if you're in at 330, if you're in at 320, even if you're in at 350, stop loss either right below 350, or again, you're giving it a little bit more wiggle room, and you can look for a bounce off around the 340-ish mark. We also do have EDNT still trying to creep its way on up. The crazy thing is, guys, we're only 9 minutes in this market. We are only 9 minutes in this market, right? So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of, possibilities today. CETX also coming up to a new high. So we have a couple stocks. Look at all these plays, all battling for the highs, right? All these plays are battling for the highs. Is that CETX? Is that CPAH? Is that EDNT? And also KGJI. That was a nice mover yesterday. Look at CPAH right now. CPAH still getting that, volume. Mid-candle breakout pattern. There you go. There you go. There's a nice rip and run. So again, mid-candle breakout pattern. CPAH continued to move on up here. You do have VWAP support back down towards around 346. Do have a couple stocks all moving at the same time, but this is a beautiful play so far. Beautiful rip, beautiful run. Bounce play still back down towards around the 340-ish mark. And as what I want, of course, show you guys is, every single day, right? We are seeing these beautiful mid-candle breakout patterns. I don't, look at all the examples right here. I'm just going to make this big for a moment. Look at this. We have, HMNY. Look at it, compare it to CPAH. We have, right, OPTT. Compare it right here to, CPAH. We have, BSPM right here. Compare it to, right here, CPAH. We have DELT. Compare it to CPAH. This is why, again, we always want to look for mid-candle breakout patterns. It's beautiful. Isn't this, an absolute just beautiful pattern, being able to make that clean money right there, right? That is so awesome to be able to see that. I'll even post this over in chat for you guys so you guys have this, but this is the beauty of the mid-candle breakout pattern that we teach. Look at that. Rip after rip after rip, all from the mid-candle breakout pattern. CPH, very, very nice move so far. So great rip, great run so far. Mid-candle breakout pattern. You can see how similar these are that just lead to, great big runs and great big climbs nearly every single time it happens. So and that's why, again, you guys, had that stock voted as the number 2 top gainer today. CETX is still doing well though. CETX is, still doing well. EDNT, I wanted that one to spike. I really did. I wanted EDNT to spike. It just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. It seems like, the much better opportunity would be maybe sticking with a CPAH trade. But CETX, not bad. CETX still has potential. But as of now, most volume, most activity, most action is over towards CPAH. If you're saying, Deck, I just stalled out, I just never pulled the trigger, where can I get in on CPAH? So let's turn off pre-market, and we can see we do have the VWAP right here along this 350-ish mark. We do have the VWAP right along this 350-ish mark, and then we do have old support right around this 340-ish mark. So we do have a couple different areas. We have VWAP support at 350, and then we have a little bit of lower support down towards around 340. The stock got a nice spike and a nice move all the way up towards around that 390-ish mark. It's most likely going to come down and have some consolidation. Great job, team. Great job if you guys just nailed that CPH. Crystal ball, make sure you throw that over in Profits Chat. We'll give a quick little look over in Profits Chat. Who we got killing it today? CPH, Jonathan, $190. Pablo, $239. Top Gun, $154. Scooter Pie, $305. Empower, $345. Jeff, $94. Bond, $180. AK, woo! Good job, AK. $750 so far. Great work over there today, team. So, just keep killing it and wait for your play. Even if you guys did not, of course, trade that yet, CPAH has that possible bounce play coming right along these lines right now. All right, coming right along these lines right now for a possible bounce play. Again, Crystal Ball, $568. That's what I love to see. I think CETX still has potential. CETX still has potential, and so does CPAH. I mean, CPAH, you're looking for the bounce play right now. I mean, the good thing about these stocks is both of them are so low in price that you can probably afford both. Support, or yeah, I think it's more around that 340-ish mark. Right now, CETX is going to probably try to steal a little bit of volume. It looks like stock is sitting right at its support line. EDNT is pretty done with. CLVS, nothing happening. So in my eyes, it really just comes down to CPAH. CPAH I want to be looking at, and CETX I want to be looking at. These are kind of the two plays that I want to be looking at. These are the two plays I want to be focused on, and these are the two plays that I think are going to be able to bring us the most potential towards today. So I may start looking for a possible bounce play over on CPAH. That's definitely a possibility. Looking for a bounce play, and then if CETX starts getting a little bit more heat, I may look over there as well. So I'm just, again, staying ready in case, we get any sort of, nice momentum. Stock, just came on down towards around the 340-ish mark. I just want to see where this play is going to be going again. We haven't had that bounce yet. It is still on the bearish side. Whoopsie. It's still on the bearish side, CPAH of the VWAP. Seems like right now, it seems like right around that 340-ish mark is the best area for a possible bounce. We definitely know we have good volume here. Is ADAP trying to get some action back? ADAP, look at that. ADAP is also trying to look at the same exact thing, mid-candle breakout pattern, guys. ADAP, same exact thing, trying to get a little bit of that mid-candle breakout pattern for that $4. Thank you, AA, for putting that on the map. FLNT is a very big play. 61 million in float. It's just going to be a slow and steady climber. So what I would do is look for a trend line. Is it making traders money? Absolutely. But it's a very big 61 million in float stock. It's going to be slow and steady, just looking to make its way on up. ADAP may look for that $4 break for a mid-candle breakout pattern as well. So CPAH, Small little bounce play so far. Let's see, where's our next opportunity? CPAH has the bounce play around 340. ADAP is looking for a full nice opportunity. That is on another mid candle breakout pattern. Same exact thing as CPAH almost. I'm just looking right now. ADAP could consolidate for a little bit, then look for that possible break and move. But ADAP may be able to get that momentum. What was the news on ADAP 2 days ago that got the stock going? Let me check that out. What was the news on ADAP 2 days ago that really got the stock moving? Because this was a top gainer on Monday. The top gainer on Monday, statistic wise, the float. Check right here. Yeah, ADAP. Oh yeah, that was a bigger float stock. 53 million in float. 53 million in float. But it did have entered into an agreement yesterday, and then also yeah, it had the that T cell platform delivers initial responses on its 4 tumors. So even though it's a 56 million in float stock, that stock was moving really well. Little side note: SHAK still trying to move on up. I know you guys were looking at that one yesterday. ADAP still looking for a little bit of activity. And then don't forget CETX. Don't forget CETX. Even though that's not spiking big, it's not spiking big. It's still trying to hold its gains. So kind of the sleeper picks that some of you guys may be forgetting is CETX, break of 230. That could really take on off, right? CLVS, break of $11 on CLVS. That one could really take on off, right? We don't want to forget about that. And still, I still have you a little bit of eyes over on EDNT. See if EDNT could ever break through 265. Right, break of 265, EDNT could possibly start getting some momentum and start taking on off. So a couple different plays right here that definitely have some nice potential to be able to make some money and be able to get us on the map, get us on the board. But good job so far for the traders who have already made some money over on CPAH. That was absolutely great. FLNT right now, how's that doing? FLNT, just a nice mover. Again, the 60 million in float, so it's not going to spike super hard, but it is a nice mover. Big thing you need to watch out for, though. Big thing you need to watch out for: 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average, guys, is at what price? This is going to be the target. This is 394. The stock just spiked up towards 380, then just had to pull back down to 367. If you guys are interested on FLNT, that 200-day moving average, again, is not going to be easy to break, and you can already see it kind of got a little bit of a run up to it and then a little bit of a drop. Please be careful on that play. CPAH starting to get a little bit of a crack here. CPAH, small little crack. PECK. PECK is a low volume play. PECK is rather new too. I mean, PECK could possibly creep its way on up and do something pretty amazing. Look at this PECK's chart. This stock is brand new, just came out in June. This is the first time it's ever really started heating on up before over on PECK. First time it's really started heating on up before. Look at that PECK. As I'm talking about it, what's happening? PECK, as I'm talking about it, this stock is starting to get a little bit more action. And it is going to have a little bit of a high up towards around this 597 mark. If it could break that area, that stock could start getting a little bit more hype towards it. Look at the stock starting to get a little bit more action right now over on PECK. So I would just, stay alert on this one, as this one just started moving on up slightly, and that's just because, this is such a low float play. I'm not in on this play. This right here are canceled alerts. I was going to look for a dip buy, but you can see it's CXLD canceled. So those are all canceled. But right now, again, PECK is starting to work its way on up just slightly. And I mean, it just went from 510 all the way up to 590. Oh, look at PECK just got halted. PECK just got halted on this play. So, a little bit scary. But PECK just got halted on this play. As, I'm not even in on the stock or anything, but it seems like traders are trying to get this thing going. And I know, again, it's right now, right next to around 10 o'clock. Nothing else is really moving. I wouldn't be surprised if PECK all of a sudden started taking on off. I would not be surprised if all of a sudden PECK started taking on off and started going on some sort of crazy rip and some sort of crazy run. And that's just because it does have a pretty crazy chart pattern right here. So I just want to type that out, that we do have PECK, halted, low volume, halted on low volume, but not much else is moving, and this could bring in a lot of hype. Break of $6. Watch for a very nice move. This is a risky play, but it could be very rewarding. So again, this is a risky play, but it could get very rewarding as well. And that's just because, right now, is anything actually like popping off? Um is anything, popping off where you're saying, "Oh my gosh, this is huge"? No, we're not seeing that right now, right? We're not saying anything's popping off being absolutely huge. 80 AP, nothing right there right now. It's still getting held up at $4. CETX is trying. I'll put CETX on the bottom level too. That one's trying, right? KGJI, nothing there. I mean, I'm going to take a look over on PECK. I want to take a look over on PECK. CETX I have on the bottom level too, if you guys are looking at it. But I think we may see a little bit of a mob rush right over towards this play on PECK if traders start saying, hey, you know what, this could just get a little bit wild, a little bit quick, and a little bit crazy. I may look for 500 to 1,000 shares on PECK to see if this thing's going to break at all and maybe go on a quick little rip and run. So this stock got halted at 9:51 and 24 seconds. It's going to get unhalted at 9:56 and 24 seconds, which is 2 minutes and about 14 seconds away. So PECK went from that $5 mark to 580. Does it have any sort of news that maybe just came out? And right now, again, my thought process is, Deck, why would you hop in on PECK? Not much else is taking off in a strong manner. Traders are eager to trade. We have a low float stock, PECK, starting to move on up to its old resistance of $6. Break of $6, the stock really has the sky's the limit. This stock does not have much chart history because, again, it's a newer IPO. It has some $6 resistance right here, maybe a little bit of $6 resistance right here, and maybe a little bit of $6 resistance right here. But if this thing could ever break $6, this thing could get crazy. It is a risky play because how fast it could come right back on down, but it's also a play, if it ever broke, it could go on a very nice move. So I definitely want, PECK to be on watch for that $6 area. If it did spike, I think that thing could move very, very quickly. And it doesn't have any sort of big news I'm seeing, but at the same time, I just think, people can move into it just because it's on the board and nothing else is moving right now. So people may try to just get something going. So that stock's going to get unhalted in 1 minute. Stock is going to get unhalted in 1 minute. CETX is also still slowly trying to move on up. CETX slowly trying to move on up on this play. Still having that trouble. Still having a little bit of trouble at the high of the day. Still having that trouble at the high of the day. CPAH, that play, the VWAP is going to be a resistance at 348. VWAP is your resistance at 348. All right, PECK. Let's see what we got here, guys. Stock looks like it's going to be having a little bit of a gap up. Just keep your eyes, ready on this play. If anything, maybe 500 to 1,000 shares to see if anything happens on it. A little bit more of a risky play, though, so you got to be quick on it. But at the same time, CETX trying to get a little bit of volume. Stock gets unhalted in about 8 seconds. Here we go. PECK coming out live. 3, 2, 1. PECK. PECK right now is starting to come on out. The stock is live. PECK, I am giving the stock a chance at the moment. So PECK, I want to see if this thing is going to be able to run on up. I am in on this play at the cost basis. Just hopped in at 623. Bought in 1,000 shares only 300 shares. No, I wanted more. Oh, I thought I got in on 1,000. Oh, I'm only in on 300 shares. Are you kidding me? Damn it. So I only got filled on 300 shares, but I am in on PECK. PECK got in on this play. You're saying, Deck, what time did you get in on this play? I got in right after that halt. I thought I tried to get in on 1,000 shares. I only had 300 get filled. So I tried to get in again. So PECK got in at 956. So PECK, try to get in as many shares as I could. I thought it filled me more. I only got filled on 300 shares here. So 300 shares, what I got filled on, I mean, I'll take it, but I wish I got in a little bit more right here. And again, I'm just trying to have some fun on this play. I'm up $112 off 300 shares, but I thought I was in on 1,000, honestly. Offshore trader, damn it, is the worst I go. For my cursing, again, yeah, I never really curse. I'm still scarred from the one time I said the F word. And you know what I did? My mom came over when I was like 8 years old, shoved a bar of soap down my mouth and scrubbed my mouth until I tasted soap for like 3 months. Like, Jesus. You know what? That's why I can't talk like that. Oh yeah. Got disciplined the old fashioned way. Old school. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, the F word. Fibonacci line. So right now I am in on PECK, and this stock I think should be getting a nice gap up towards it. I want to see how much more is left in the tank on this play over on PECK, but I thought I was in on 1,000 shares. I only got filled on 300. So this play, right here just got halted after getting a nice move towards it. I want to see if it's going to be able to get any more towards it. Scream, I got the sandal. All right, it happens. It happens. So yeah, I want to see if PECK is going to be able to continue to move on up. Does everybody understand why I got in on PECK? I try to explain myself like as well as I could beforehand, just because this play, nothing else was going on. It's a low float stock, newer IPO play, needed to break $6. Everyone's looking for a play to play, and PECK popping on up. So that's why I'm in on that stock right now. Scotty, where's the volume at on PECK? Well, right now PECK is halted. This stock should get unhalted, I believe, right around 10:02. I want to say. Does anyone have the exact time the stock's going to get unhalted? We can just look at NASDAQtrader.com. The stock got halted, PECK, at 9:56 and 53 seconds. So it's going to get unhalted at 10:02 and 53 seconds. 10:02 and 53 seconds is when it should get unhalted at. VipBait, what type of order did I use? I just market ordered in. I just, you can't get filled. You can't get filled on those limit orders right there. So you can't get filled on limit orders just because those limit orders are too crazy. Or there's limit orders you're not going to get filled if it's all buyers. For a limit order, the stock needs to fall down to your order, right? So right here, it's on PECK. What I'm thinking is I want to have a few more shares than just 300. So I am looking for a possibility of getting in on another like kind of that last little like 500 to 600 shares to see if I could get that filled, and then I'll be rocking with like 800 shares if the stock could break $7 and keep moving on up from there. So that's what I'm looking at this time to see if we're going to be able to get any sort of nice big break or any sort of nice big move on that stock. Because I would like to have a few more shares, but if I already had those shares in, I would have been sitting, really good already. But don't be surprised. Again, this stock can definitely move in either direction. This one's risky. This one could go on a massive rip and a massive run, or this one could possibly drop on off very hard. So you have to be ready. You have to be quick. If you're a new trader, right, this is not going to be the easiest stock in the world for you. Just a little heads up. CETX still fighting. I mean, CETX is still just fighting. CETX is still just fighting, kind of where it's opened at. It's still or right around that 230-ish mark. I feel like that's been the toughest thing for CETX to just kind of stay above that 230-ish mark. All right, so this one's going to be interesting over on PECK. We're going to see where PECK opens up at. and then of course, go from there. Oh, PECK is live right now. PECK just came back and is live a little bit early. Right there on PECK. PECK, I am in on this play. I added my last 500 shares. Added my last 500 shares on PECK. Added my last 500 shares on PECK. And I'm going to lock them out here. I'm going to lock in some profit. Selling a little bit as we go. I'm out. I'm out, baby. $500 day. $500 day. PECK came out a little bit early out of that hold. PECK, let's go, baby. You guys say, Dek, when are you getting in on that stock? Boom. Boom. Let's go. So just like that, PECK coming out on top. What's my exact gain? Okay, I came out right here, $444. $444 on my day right here. Here's my P&L. This stock, again, came out of that hold. It's still good and live right now. Stock is still good, still holding. So, again, make sure you guys are locking in your profits. But I am out of that play. And just locked in my gains at this moment because we are starting to get pretty high on up. And again, got in at 624, 620, and then I also got in at 698. When the stock got unhalted, all I did is again was market order in. The stock ran all the way up to 750, and then I got out the last little bit right here at 724. So I got out the last little bit at 724 at this time. As I said, the only reason I bought in on PECK is just because there's nothing else moving. Now, a little heads up as well. I did not buy in this whole spike, right? I did not buy in this whole spike at all. Because sometimes people be like, oh, Dek, like you started that spike because, the stock went from $5 all the way to $5.85. Just a little heads up for you guys. I didn't even buy in the stock until 620, 624. So again, the stock spiked where? Here. I didn't buy in all the way up to up here. So again, just a little disclaimer because I know some people always come at me on like plays that are lower volume plays. But I bought in halfway through the spike. So I bought it on this play because it's a low volume play or a low float play, and the stock it started getting some nice volume towards it. Nothing else was going on, and again it got halted. So that is why I pulled the trigger on PECK. Knew it was a little bit more on the risky side, but at the same time came out with a $444 gain on my day. There's my P&L right there. All right. E21 Hana, do limit orders hit if you place a price above the asking price? No, you'll just be filled at the. It would just be like doing a market order. You'll just be filled right at the current asking price. So just be filled at the current asking price. Also, reason why I also got in. All the reasons I got in, guys. Number one, reason why I got in. It's a low float stock. Number two, nothing else is going on. Number three, this stock has had 1, 2, 3, and this is the fourth day of continuation. Number four, number four, this play was bringing in volume when there was no other plays bringing in volume. Number five, this stock is a newer IPO play, which just had to break $6 as we had $6 throughout this whole entire area. Break of $6 is where I got excited. Yep, bond is holding a stock a way to control the market or more so to protect it. Usually a hold happens. A hold happens when a hold happens for two reasons. Either A, market makers want to slow a stock down, or B, there's too many buyers and not enough sellers, or vice versa. There's too many sellers and not enough buyers. Imagine there's only 10 people buying a stock, but there are 300 people who want to sell the stock. Well, all those sell orders go through at once, and they got nowhere to go. So the stock gets halted then, and then market makers kind of balance it all out. So let me post my P&L for you guys. So you guys have all that good stuff right there. My number one thing is I just want to back up my credibility on, of course, why I get into the plays that I do. So I always want to back up my credibility on why I get in on the plays that I do to make sure that you have a full understanding behind that. And, you can, of course, go from there. But those are my plays, PECK, and that came out to a $444 profit. Let's go right here, put that over here, $444 profit on PECK. Good job. A couple people over on Profits Chat right now. Robert Watson, $61, says he's learning, so that's awesome. BJ Watkins, $910. Joe, 89 on PECK, $1,300. Great job. Darth Trader, 307th. Keystime, 168. Clay, $399. So again, great work. I'm just going to post this so we're all good here. Give me one moment. Let me actually look at something. I just want to confirm if that is like a newer chart or if that's just like a newer IPO play. So if I look back PECK, how I can always do this is just always look back on the weekly scale. And it looks like it's a newer chart. Like it just kind of started back in June. Like it kind of seems like in June is the last area. Also, a little side note, if you go to a weekly chart, look where the stock is getting held up a little bit, right at that 50-day moving average on the weekly chart, which is a little bit crazy. So again, PECK, $444, low float, 3 days of green, halted, and not much else going on. So wanted to give the stock a chance. So there is my play over on PECK. And I did add that last 500 shares. I added that last 500 shares on that stock just so I can actually make like $500 because only having that 300 shares, wasn't going to make me as much. So right when the stock got unhalted, I just market ordered. And if you guys saying, Deck, did you market order or limit order? All I did was market order. You can see that right on my P&L right there. And why did I market order? Just because I wasn't going to be able to get filled. I wasn't going to be able to get filled if it was a limit order. There were too many buyers, and that would just skip my order right away. So that would have just skipped my order right away. But right now, PECK giving a lot back right here. Also, if you're wondering, why did it run that high and start coming back on down? PECK, look at this, guys. PECK, if you look back at it on the weekly scale, which is something we don't usually look at, but look where it ran up to. Right up to that 50-day moving average. Ran right up to that 50-day moving average on PECK, and that's where it started turning a little bit. All right. This little stock sniping move right there. CETX, and what else do we have? We have CETX still trying to fight. CETX is still fighting, and this is actually turning into, at this point, a little bit more of a support line. Does anyone, before I move on, I just want to make sure I'm never, missing anyone. Does anyone have any questions about that trade? I will go into more detail on that trade coming up in the next, probably coming up at 10:35. I'll do a complete recap on it. But if anyone has any questions right now, that's just like you're wondering, please ask me. White Diamond, at what price did it come out of the hold? Let's go back to it for a moment. PECK. It came out of that hold right at the price of around 660. 660-ish is when it came out of that. Oh, excuse me. That's where it got halted. It got unhalted right around 674, I believe. So right around that 674-ish mark is where it got unhalted. Stock fell on down for a moment. Again, I jumped in on that play with a market order, and I got in on a market order and got filled at 698. So I market ordered in at 624 and 620. And then after the second hold, when it came out at 674, I market ordered in, got filled at 798, sold my shares at 731, and sold my shares at 724. So I got at 731 and 724 from 624 and 698. JRT Deck, what triggered you to get in when you did? It was so fast. Well, just because I know this is, I know you're newer, but a lot of these plays, I'm not sure how long they're going to hold on up. So that's why I'm always again getting in and out of a lot of my plays. Probably the thing that I get criticized, I guess, would be on a lot of my trading is, Deck locks in his profits quickly. But if that's the one thing that people, would say that, oh, I lock in my profits too quickly, I'll take that. You know why? Because it's basically like saying, oh, Deck makes money, but he could make more money. And it's like, okay, right? It's like I'm gonna lock in my profits when I have them. So if you're saying like, how did you get out along those areas? I mean, no matter what, PECK could have kept spiking to 10, 11, $12, but no matter what, I'm up almost $1 on my shares. I'm gonna lock in my profit. Right. So, that's why I lock in my profit because I never want to get dumped on. I never want the stock to fall on me. So if I'm up $1 in my shares, I'm going to lock in my profit. Now, everyone says, oh, great trade. You locked out, right around the perfect area. And that sounds great. And at the other side, if PECK ran all the way up to $10 to $11, people are like, oh, Deck, you should have held longer. Well, you know what? I have to stick to my game plan and I have to stick to what? Locking in my money when I have it. Now, if you're saying, of course, if you're saying, Deck, what triggered you to get in on that play, right away? Well, as I said, the reasons why I hopped in on PECK is number one, as a lower float. Number two, this stock has had 3 days of continuation.
All right, guys. I'm gonna lock it up here. I'm up $868, which is great, but I'm also extremely aggravated with this PECK trade because I did mean to buy 1,500 shares here, and I meant to throw it on the ask with this order, and somehow I guess I hit the buy button again, so I hit the limit order buy button instead of the sell. I guess because I got them right beside each other. I meant to hit join the ask because the ask is higher, but so I was up like $1,700 on it, and then when I had to sell both of those, I lost a lot of it. So I mean, you can see now I'm only up 600 basically. So I lost like $1,100. So that's pretty aggravating. Let's see, CETX. Yeah, I traded that one, finishing down 95. It's not a big deal. Let's see. Let's do this real quick. Turn that alert off. So you can see, my trades there on it. I was basically just getting in, hoping for a spike, getting out when it wouldn't, taking little profits. But on my last trade, I lost, went to the red on the ticker. What else did I trade? CLVS. Same thing, I hopped in on this candle hoping it would spike. Didn't. Got out. CPAH. Finished 277 on this. Finished up on it. I was hoping for a harder spike. Was looking for more, but I was kind of hoping this was going to U-shape back around and then shoot on up. Didn't work out, so I gave some back. I was up like 300 or 400 on that one. ED&T, not even on the list. ED&T, made 235 on it. Started running up, selling partials, hoping it would break and then go up to at least the highs of the pre-market and then break that, but it didn't work out, so got out, took my profits. And then PEC, the most recent, Deck caught it out, said it was moving up hard. I looked at it, I just kept seeing green on the time and sell, so I just went ahead and market ordered in 3,000 shares, moved up a couple pennies and then got halted. Sold Jesus, you have to excuse my cough. Sold coming out of the halt, most of the position, and then I did sell the rest of the position. Oh no, I had 1,000 shares and I added 500 back. So let's see, I bought 3,000 and then sold 1,000 and sold another 1,000. So then I had 1,000 that I added back 500. Sold 12. No, I put a sell order for 1,000 coming straight out of the halt, and then I hit market order out 250. I don't know. It was just a mess, but those two 1,500 buys, one was on purpose. The second was supposed to be the sell of the first one, so gave back a lot of my profits there, but still finishing up $868. So I mean, I'll take it. I'm gonna go ahead and walk away unless PEC starts to spike here, in which case I will be interested in getting back in, getting my profits back, or losing more of them. So basically just waiting for the break of the VWAP. Yeah, if it breaks the VWAP, then we're going to get back in. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of deck there. Extremely low volume on it though. I mean, this candle 4,000 shares, that one 400 shares, 11,000, 10,000. I mean, it's just, it could spike, but somebody's going to have to, you know, be the guinea pig and buy enough shares to get it up to 650 to get people interested, and then let it take off. But I don't know if it's going to happen or not. You know, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's not moving right now, no volume. So good luck to everyone out there trading. You know, hopefully you all finish green. I'm going to walk away while I'm still green. So thanks for watching.